Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hi, y'all. Merry Christmas. From all of us, Merry Christmas. It's amazing that if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, Monday of next week is Christmas Day. What the? Amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week: why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care about that? Isn't that an amazing question? Yes, Jesse, that is an amazing question. Why are we supposed to care or think of what people say about us? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about shopping, robbing a store, smash and grab, or breaking in some white person's house out in the suburb, carjacking, whatever you might be doing, beating up a white person because you don't like white people on the road, whatever you might be doing, you could be listening to the show. You can podcast it later, but because you ain't going to jail, so you can podcast later. But you can be listening by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. And follow us on social media, JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com, or even Bond Cash App. 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 Amazing. A day late and $1 short. Bond Cash App, all right? So it is Bond JLP, Bond JLP. We're not ready with this Thursday thing either? What? You don't have it? I can't hear you. I want to say it's Thumper Thursday, but I'm being told we don't have the opening. What the? So what should I do? What should I do? What should I do for you? Nothing. Oh, I don't know what to do right now, folks. They said they don't have that opening, so. But it's supposed to be, I'm supposed to, now it's Bible Thumper Thursday, and then the opening should start, but they don't have it. What the? It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ding. Joel, let me ask you a question. Since we're waiting on that. I'm going to ask Joel a question while we're waiting for the opening. How come they didn't know in advance they didn't have it? That doesn't even make sense to me. But,
oh, I didn't want them to see my shirt. No, I'll play.
Does history repeat itself? What's that?
It fell off.
It looks like a hot dog.
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's
Where do you get all these toys?
from the toy place, I guess. From Mexico. Does history repeat itself?
Yeah, for sure.
History does repeat
Yeah.
itself? Give me an example.
Yeah, I think it just reminds me of the verse in the Bible that says
In
nothing
the
is
word.
nothing is new underneath the sun.
Right.
So I think that history repeats itself in the sense that we just keep going back around in circles of people are they overcome and they fall away. They overcome and they fall away.
Does the Bible say that history repeats itself?
It says that nothing is new underneath the sun. So I interpret that as the history repeats itself. Why you laugh like that? Don't laugh so hard.
Hassan, does history repeat itself?
No, sir.
Oh, it doesn't?
Oh,
See?
and he walking on water.
I'm taking away that other thing. And why you say no?
Well, for one, the more I'm realizing that history doesn't even really exist, it's just us focusing on history is what makes it seem like it repeats itself because we focus so much on it that our perception makes us believe that it repeats itself because we just focus on it so much.
Huh.
Hey, does history repeat it? Hake a little homegrown. These are my experts on some of them. And Hake a little homegrown Christian. Bible thumper, college going, Christian college going. I just about. What are you doing?
Me?
No, you. You.
Whose
That-
phone is it?
I'm trying not
Anyway.
to. Oh, that looks like Bill's.
That's Bill.
Oh.
Don't mess with Bill.
Da 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 da. Hake is one of the experts here and the host of the HateReport.com. Joel is the host of Joel Friday TV every Tuesday at 11 a.m. He doesn't want it. Mama? Did he ask you for it?
No.
He didn't want the phone, Mama.
He looked like he wanted.
No, he didn't say he wanted it. He didn't ask for it or anything.
I was like, here, baby.
That's his pad, too. You going to pass that on? And then Hassan is an expert here and the engineer and orchestra and an outstanding rapper. Waiting on Jesus.
Wait on God.
Waiting on God, man. The history repeats itself. Do we have the thing yet? We don't have it yet. Where's Shawn? Shawn out hunting somewhere.
Yes,
Yes, history repeats itself?
Yeah.
How?
People,
Why you say yes?
I say yes because people repeat similar mistakes.
Give me an example.
For example, communism. Communism was a mistake over there, and now we're doing communism here.
So how is that repeating itself if it never happened here before?
Because it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be at the exact same place.
But how does it repeat itself then?
Because you repeatedly make the same dumb mistakes.
Oh. When you
Even
say,
on a personal level, you do the same thing over and over again.
and that's what you call repeating?
Yep.
Oh,
Do you think it has to do with the Bible verse that I brought up about nothing to do underneath the sun? You think that's the same thing?
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, I think it does.
Then why you laughing?
I'm not laughing. This is deadly serious.
Why are you laughing at him?
No, I like that Bible verse.
Oh, you
People,
do?
yeah.
What did it say? What
There's
does it
nothing. There's nothing new under the sun.
Can we pull it up
Something like that.
so we
Say?
can?
And
get
that
back
mean
to-
that history repeats itself?
No, that.
what
But
Joel
history
said.
repeats itself means that.
That's what the God gifter said.
See?
Is that the shirt you had on yesterday? You were
No,
hiding?
I should have. If anything, it should have been this shirt.
So, Joel, you said yes, history repeats itself.
Yeah, I think it's.
Bill, does history repeats itself?
Yeah.
Give me an example. He said yes, the engineer.
I mean, no.
How does history...
No, literally, but yes.
He said no literally, but yes.
Yeah.
How can it be both? Go to the mic.
Whoa. He knocked down Jesse.
He's jealous now. He's
Sorry.
mad. Because he quoted that Bible scripture, now he looks silly. Go to that mic. You said no, it doesn't, but yes.
I mean, no, it doesn't literally. No, history doesn't repeat itself literally.
Aha!
But
He
the
doesn't read
same
the
things
Bible.
happen over and over again because people's nature is the same. We're kind of programmed the same. We don't just do. We have our set behaviors. And it comes out in things, the same things happening over and over again with different people, generation after generation. That's what I mean.
I rest my case.
Bill doesn't
Yep.
read the Bible.
What?
Bill doesn't read the Bible.
That's why he got common sense.
He sounded just like Joel and me.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
How's that?
He just had a more sophisticated version of Joel and my answer.
He had the
Yeah.
truthful version.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all said communism.
Same thing. Communism includes that.
We never had
is
communism
included in
here.
that. I know, but
So
that's
how
why
that
it's
repeated?
because it's the same type of mistake.
Well, Hassan and Bill will beat y'all out today.
We all said the same answer.
Did they say the same answer as you and Bill?
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't paying attention that much.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot going on over here.
Innocent.
So do we have the opening?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so it's Bible. What's that?
It's break time.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I think he's there
Pretty
playing
much.
it.
Oh, me too. What are you doing, Joel?
I'm trying to fix it.
You just jealous. So you don't have a Joel. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and super chat. It's Christmas. I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Okay, welcome back. Merry Christmas. It's Thursday, and every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
All right, brother. Are you ready?
Just to repeat yourself.
He's drunk as a badger. Go ahead. Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
He got ants in his pants. He got ants in his pants, and he need to dance. So speaking of speaking in tongue, we brought it up the other day, and my friend, who is a Christian, a really decent Christian, he texted me about speaking in tongue because I said I'm crazy. And I think he speaks in tongue. I know the church he goes to does. And so he texted me, and he said about speaking in tongue. That's crazy. Somebody can tell you to speak in tongue, you don't know what you're talking about. And that the person next door can hear you, and they understand it, but you don't.
Yeah.
And people do it. He said, speaking in tongue is explained in the Bible, but because most ministers, including Reverend Peterson, is my best friend. Hey, friend, I'm telling you, we've been friends forever. He including Reverend Peterson, use their intellect when reading about tongues. Would it be better for us to just admit that we need more understanding of what the Bible is saying instead of making it seem that the Bible is written wrong? Otherwise, the teaching of the Bible are not what people know they need to follow, because they believe that it is not a guidance of how God wants us to live. I have to go to work, so I didn't proofread this. I hope that it can be understood what I'm saying. And then he said, do you want to slap your mama with the cookies? Those sweet potato cookies. I'm going to get me some of those sweet potatoes. That's all I'm going to eat all Christmas. Sweet potato cookies. You remember that?
It was so good.
Yeah. Have you ever spoken tongues?
So I don't have an answer as far as if tongues is good or bad, but I say this, is that when I was growing up in the church, and then I became of adult age, and I would go back to church, and I was thinking like, oh, I should do this. It never caught me, and I wasn't against doing it. I never had like this idea that tongues is bad, but I would like try to do the things of the church. And it never happened. So then I just never believed in it because I never caught it. I never caught the tongue.
But you tried to do it.
Yeah, I didn't try to do or not try to do it, but when I used to try to do this, I used to do the holy hands thing like this. And I look back at it, I was probably looking so crazy.
As you do now.
I used to do the whole thing, but I knew at the time I wasn't feeling nothing, but I used to try to make myself feel something. And but the tongues thing, it never happened, and I could never do it.
Did you thank God that it never happened? And that one less trauma you had to overcome?
It just seemed weird to me. It just seemed weird to me for sure.
You ever spoken tongue?
Not really.
You tried?
Yeah.
Oh.
A little. I mean, it's
when
a little.
You said not really, that meant it's all that you tried.
Yeah. You just make up a word and repeat it.
Let me see.
Good. I was about 5, 4, maybe. Why am I blushing?
Oh, you ever spoken in tongues, Hassan?
You know, I thought I did. Yeah, I thought when I was sometimes like when I would rap, or when I would get these like.
Oh,
like,
you would scat.
Yeah, sometimes I was exactly with the auto tune. There's this thing called auto tune, and you just freestyle. Sometimes I used to think the Holy Spirit was taking over, and I was.
What?
But it probably wasn't. It's probably another thing going on, but.
An unholy spirit.
Yeah, probably. But, yeah, so I don't think so.
You don't think so?
It hasn't been confirmed or verified.
Oh, so what? Hey.
Oh, I said on unholy spirit.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So do you know what speaking in tongues really is?
No.
You don't know? Do you, Hassan?
I do now, yeah.
Oh,
I have
do
no
you,
idea.
James?
I still don't know.
Yeah,
What is it?
but I can't say.
Why
I
not?
can say
What is it?
it's being able to talk to all people about like the truth, like the being able to speak in a wisdom that surpasses all tongues, like all languages. It's just a.
But
It's just like a
So Trump-
antidote. It's an antidote.
that's an
So
interesting
Trump
point.
speaks in tongues.
Exactly. And
does.
JLP.
No, I was just say that's an interesting thing that he says, because like that's the textbook definition of tongues is exactly that, and I've heard that before. But every time I've heard people speaking in tongues growing up, it just was kind of scary.
Because they were high.
It didn't seem right.
Speaking in tongues is, to add what you said, is, you know how we tell people to forgive, and we tell people that there's something driving you that's not you, and we tell people that you have never sinned, but this thing driving you.
Right.
You thought that you would think it was you. And to them, what are you talking about? They can't even understand. You tell people they need to forgive their mama. Some people can't even, what do you mean forgive my mama? That's what speaking in tongues. It is simple wisdom.
Yeah, that's not understood by everyone.
Most people don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
it. Most people don't understand that forgiveness is admitting that you're wrong for hating. Not the other person wrong for doing you wrong,
Yeah.
but you're wrong for hating them for doing you wrong.
And that's why you can't change people, because not everybody understands.
Oh, that's what speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
just common sense language.
Like when Jesus said, "He with ears to hear, let him hear."
Right. Let me give you an example of speaking in tongues. Let's go to, even though I'm going to want to play it again later, Hassan, then I'll take some calls or super chat. Let's go to clip from CNN 21-2A. This is the Great White Hope. CNN, Donald Trump talked about his Christian faith, but said he never sought forgiveness for his sins. He never sought forgiveness for his sins. Watch this from CNN.
Well, let me ask you, because one of the potential attack lines has to do with an answer you gave to Frank Luntz months ago when you said that you've never asked God for forgiveness. Do you regret making that remark?
No, I have great relationship with God, but I like to be good. I don't like to
think
have
made
to
low.
ask for forgiveness, and I am good. I don't do a lot of things that are bad. I try and do nothing that's bad. I live a very different life than probably a lot of people would think, and I have a very
Always or
great,
just
I have
now?
a very great relationship with God, and thinking about over the last number of years,
Okay.
I've been, I'm leading a very good life. I try to lead a good life, and I have.
I couldn't.
You can hear it.
Not really. We could turn it up on the board there too.
It
and
sounds
we'll hear
fine
it louder.
online, both audio and video feed.
But it sounds low in our
our ears.
speakers, right?
But if I turn it up on
Yeah.
the board, it's going to
Oh.
be louder on the.
I don't think
stream.
it won't be louder on the stream. So you could turn it up on the board. It'll be louder in our ears.
But not on the stream?
No, that's not how I believe it's set up.
Where's Bill?
Don't mess with Bill.
So should we play it again or no?
Yeah. Can we try it?
We can play it one more time because I was distracted. You guys were
Yeah.
talking and I was trying to listen to it once you
Right.
guys
Yeah.
started complaining.
And then turn it up on the board there, Hassan.
Because lately the clips have been too loud for the clip for the people listening on the video feed.
And this is speaking in tongues.
Well, let me ask you, because one of the potential attack lines has to do with an answer you gave to Frank Luntz months ago when you said that you've never asked God for forgiveness. Do you regret making that remark?
No, I have great relationship with God, but I like to be good. I don't like to have to ask for forgiveness, and I am good. I don't do a lot of things that are bad. I try and do nothing that's bad. I live a very different life than probably a lot of people would think, and I have a very very great relationship with God, and about over the last number of years, I've been, I'm leading a very good life. I try to lead a good life, and I have.
What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah, I think that he just made a solid just remark about it's not about constantly asking for forgiveness, that you're not supposed to. And I don't even think God wants you to sit up there and ask him for forgiveness. He knows, when you're wrong and you made a mistake, but he knows that you're sorry or you've made that mistake. He's not sitting up here trying to hear you say forgiveness, but the world wants you to say sorry and do all that stuff. So I think he made a solid remark about it.
So he knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
And he knows when you're bad or good.
Naughty or nice. What did you think about that, Hake? What the Great White Hope said?
That was 2016, huh? There's a nice answer. I think this whole asking for forgiveness thing, I don't even think that's in the Bible.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that in the Bible when God said ask for forgiveness?
I don't think so.
I never remember reading it, but I hear it all the time. So growing up, you just assume it is in the Bible somewhere.
It does say repent.
Yeah.
It does say
forgive.
Yeah, forgive.
And I will forgive you.
But
I don't know if it's ever what he said, ask for forgiveness.
People are so fake.
Amazing. What did you think about what he said, Hassan?
It's just so awesome to see, like, somebody just walking the walk instead of just talking the talk. A lot of, not to name any names, but there's other politicians and people that are quoting Bibles and doing all this stuff, but when it comes to the real deal, he's really walking it seems.
That's so, yeah.
No, I was going to say, I think that there's a time to, obviously, if wrongdoing happens, there's a time to be honest about it. And meaning, like, whether it be, and I'm just talking about with God, I'm not saying necessarily
right. I know what you mean.
Yeah. But there's a time to just take accountability, but I don't think that, I think his point is not to, because the interviewer is asking, well, do you ask for forgiveness? And it seems like how I talked about when people ask me, are you religious? It seems like a holy thing, and it's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Admitting you're wrong isn't asking for forgiveness, though,
Right.
Right.
You can say, you can even say, I'm sorry, but even that is a bit. People aren't really sorry. People aren't really sorry,
Or just acknowledging that you're wrong. I mean, that's all I mean. Yeah, but asking for forgiveness type of thing is, I don't think that's always necessary.
That was so deep. What Trump said, it's mind blowing. I've never heard another human being say that, and it's so true. And when I first heard him say it, I didn't understand. Like years ago when he said it, when was that?
2016, I think.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't understand at the time what he meant, but that's so deep what he said. It's not even funny. And yesterday I talked about the Great White Hope, that we should keep a space there and just watch him. It'll be amazing. And that's a part of the amazing aspect of Donald Trump.
Nice.
We have him right before our eyes, and most people are missing it. What a mess.
Yeah, because they're too, hung up on the right word, the quote unquote right words that they're used to hearing.
Yeah, the right words and the way you should say it. And he's too strong in speaking. I don't like some of the things he say, but I'm like, what the?
And it's not even like he's just being mean. He's just being real, and a lot of people don't like real.
Yeah.
And it kind of it reminds me of even kind of myself a little bit, and you, like when people try to say, like, hey, could you, I know you're telling the truth, but can you say it a little differently or can you
Right.
change it? But I remember you said one time, I think you said this, that the truth can only be said one way, really.
Right.
You know, the truth is the truth.
You can't change the way you say the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
The way you speak the truth. It's amazing. All right. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Canada and talk to Trevor, first-time caller out of Canada. Trevor, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Merry Christmas, Jesse.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
I have you on speakerphone because I got a bad ear on one side there, so. I hope you
Okay.
can hear me well.
Go ahead.
So I hope you can hear me well.
I do.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted
Merry
to
Christmas
tell
to
you
you,
that-
man. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, you have my support, and I just started watching you a few days ago, and it has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but you really inspired me about a lot of things, and the truth and all that, and good and evil, and it really broke it down, what the world is. It's good and evil, not all this other thing.
Not at all.
Yeah, not a perfect man. Got a lot of, still doing some bad things, and still plan on, bettering my life. Of course, I'm doing well though. Everything's fine, but I mean, I still sin and do some bad things. So totally opposite. Totally not what you're talking about. But yeah, I just wanted to call because I wanted to reach out and just see if I could be heard, because we're in Canada here. It's getting to be pretty bad here too, with our freedoms and a lot of things.
Well, and my gift to you, my Christmas gift to you is to stay with it, do the silent prayer, and watch. And from this day forward, never say, I'm not a perfect person. That's not true about you at all. So never say it so you don't take on that false identity. And then never don't call yourself any of the things you just said about yourself right now, because none of those things are true about you. Just watch them so you can overcome them, but don't claim them, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. So you're none of the things that you just said, but you'll see that if you keep your eyes on the not you.
Yeah, I try to at least get some truth out of something somehow in my own way.
Yeah,
and,
well, watch those thoughts. Watch those thoughts, and know that the feelings are not you and the thoughts are not you, and the truth will reveal itself to you. You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free.
Like I think that's slowly happening to me. The truth is coming.
Yes.
To me. So that's where,
Amazing.
That's where I'm at. Thank you.
Thank you, man, and Merry Christmas, and we'll talk again.
You made my day. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Right.
Amazing.
There's a line open at 888-775-3773. Let me go to, is it Jaime? Jaime out of California. Jaime, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, how are you?
All is well, sir.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Well, I just want to answer the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
Because we're supposed to, because we simply don't have fear in God, and we don't truly love God with all of our heart, soul, might. And if we don't really truly love God and truly fear God, we tend to go to people or other things to get pleased and loved. That's all I can say.
Do you care about what people say or think of you?
No.
Amazing. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday, man. I thank you for that, and Merry Christmas.
And can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
How do we love how do we love God with all of our heart, soul, and strength?
You want to respond to that?
Yeah, I can respond to it.
Okay. This is Joel Friday TV. Go ahead.
How's it going, Jaime? I think
What are you reading on his computer?
Just being nosy.
He like this.
All the movement is drawing his eye. I understand.
He black.
He black.
I think that you love God in that way by not trying to love God and just being aware of yourself. And as you're aware of yourself, God just brings you to all things. But I think trying is the worst thing we can do because there's an intention, there's an agenda, and that's because you want to feel better oftentimes. So not even trying to love God at all and allowing God to allow that to happen is, in my opinion, the best way.
So it's to be aware and be conscious about it?
Yeah, just be aware of yourself and just continue to do your daily things and go about your life, but don't even worry about that kind of stuff. Because if there is a worry, then that means there's an agenda.
I get you.
You want to answer that, Hake?
No, I like that answer.
Oh, you do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Did that help, Jaime?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for responding to the biblical question, all right?
All right, no problem.
All right, buddy. I got to take a break, folks. 2 more hours to go. When I come back, your phone calls and super chat. You can jump in on that line where Jaime just left. 888-775-3773. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, and I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. We had a late start there. Complicated business, folks. Stay tuned for hour 2 of Bible Thumper Thursday. Coming right back to your calls and your super chats. Appreciate them. But first, Hake news, not fake news. By the way, this is the 3rd Thursday of the month, ladies. That means Women's Forum, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. Not recorded, not streamed. Totally private. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com/events if you need more info, or call us during office hours, or leave a message when we're off hours. 1-800-411-BOND, 1-800-411-2663. Claudine Gay, the far-left female run outlet The Skim, says she's back in the news. Harvard University's black female president. Yesterday, a Republican-led House committee expanded their probe into Claudine Gay to include allegations of plagiarism. Gay, as in Claudine, along with other university presidents, have been under the microscope for their responses during a congressional hearing about anti-Semitism on college campuses. Earlier this month, the Washington Free Beacon and Commie Nonsense Network, CNN themselves, reported on Claudine's alleged instances of plagiarism. Everybody's done plagiarism. All these blacks, conservative and liberal, supposedly. That includes a paragraph of her 1997 dissertation that CNN described as nearly identical, and that's a quote, to another paper that she didn't cite. Other instances of alleged plagiarism date back to the 90s and are as recent as 2017. A Harvard independent board looked at the allegations in October and said that they found instances of inadequate citation, but that Claudine Gay didn't violate the school policy. One Republican said the committee's concern is that standards are not being applied consistently. Claudine Gay has previously said, "I stand by the integrity of my scholarship." She's no scholar. Anyway. Second Amendment, the 2A in CA, California. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports on gun rights in California. Yesterday, a federal judge temporarily blocked a California law that would have banned people from carrying firearms in public places, most public places. The law was scheduled to go into effect January 1st after evil beta Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat from California, signed it earlier this year. We call them demon rats. It would have banned people from carrying concealed guns in more than 24 places, like public parks, churches, banks, maybe types of places, regardless of if someone has a permit to carry concealed weapons. The judge reportedly said the law violates the Second Amendment, which says it shall not be infringed. The right to carry guns, awesome guns, openly defiant of the Supreme Court. Wow. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court, that is. Now, evil Gavin Newsom, gruesome Newsom, apparently plans to push through more so-called gun control legislation violating the Second Amendment. Gun rights advocates said the court saw through the state's gambit. And Venezuela, an agreement between Venezuela and the United States. Yesterday, American officials, so-called, confirmed they're swapping a top ally of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro for the release of 10 Americans. As part of the deal, Maduro's buddy, Alex Saab, S-A-A-B, an alleged financier, got clemency. The Biden administration said 6 of the 10 Americans being released were wrongfully detained, including 2 former Green Berets. President Biden said he's grateful that their ordeal is finally over. A man convicted for playing a central role in one of the Navy's largest corruption cases is also being extradited to the United States. What a mess. Israel, President Biden and the United States working through whether a UN Security Council resolution that calls for suspension of hostilities in Gaza to allow more aid into the enclave after the much-delayed vote on the matter was pushed to today. Multiple UN agencies are backing calls for a halt in fighting as they warn of dire humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip. UN General Assembly voted to demand an immediate ceasefire. We'll see what happens. U.S. has blocked ceasefire calls lately. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
It uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. Jesse. My biblical question for this week: why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care? And a lot of people tell me you're supposed to care. Why? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, you're busy doing what you're doing, getting beat up by your wife, she's cussing you out or pounding you out or whatever, or you're like about to take some fentanyl or suicidal thoughts, or you're hating white people, or blaming white people, and you don't celebrate Christmas, whatever you're doing or not doing, you can be listening to the show live as you're doing what you're doing on your iPhone or iPad by calling 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Y'all know what to do with that. Subscribe, like, follow, and all that. Ring the bell. We're on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. Amazing. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingdemand.com. Rebuildingdemand.com or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. And you can podcast all of the shows anywhere around the world and for the flat earthers up and down the world. It's Thursday, folks. And for the new listeners who might not be aware, every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday. Bible Thumper!
Get him up! Hold him up. Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Do it now.
He like, I see the devil. What now?
I thought I heard somebody shouting up in here.
What a mess. Now you see why we're losing Christianity in a Christian country? It's amazing. Let me go to the busy phones. I know we didn't get to a lot of them in the first hour, and it's Christmas time. We're going to take as many calls as possible, and we're going to reach a super chat. And we do have some amazing sound bites as well. Let me go to Derrick out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. Merry Christmas, y'all. Derrick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jess.
Hey,
What's
Derrick.
going on, brother?
All is well.
I would like to answer the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
When I was in the Army, I was a leader, so I felt like I needed to be an example. I knew I had to be an example for younger soldiers. So I would say that I don't care what other people think about me. That's what I know for a fact. And I believe you're just supposed to be an example for everybody to follow. But then again, I'm not sure that example is the best example.
Amazing. I appreciate you responding to that question, Derrick. Are you married, Derrick?
Working on it.
What that mean, working on it?
Trying to find me a wife.
Oh, but you're not married now?
No, sir.
And when you say you're trying to find one, where are you looking?
I'm not looking.
Oh, okay. And do you want to be married?
I do.
Why?
I don't know. The Bible says go forth and multiply. I just want a family. That's all.
Oh, you want some children?
I already have one. I just trying to paint a picture in this cruel world out of what's left of it. You know what I mean?
You're trying to paint you're trying to paint a picture of this cruel world. What kind of picture?
Just a family setting to protect and have a household.
You're trying to set an example for the world by doing that?
No, that's not how I'm trying to set an example anymore. I wasn't. Let me ask you this. If I have no purpose, what's the point? You know what I mean?
To overcome the fallen state, to return to the Father, to be born again of God. That's the purpose.
I believe I have.
Good.
And I'm ready to move forward.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Oh, yeah.
And you're doing the silent prayer?
Yes, sir.
Well, just stay
Morning
with that.
and night.
Well, just stay with that, Derrick, and let life happen. You will overcome the fallen state, and it's going to be amazing for you. But you must, in order to live, you must die from the fallen, from the ideas of who you think you are and what you are and all that, all those false identities. You must be born again. And the only way that's going to happen, you got to die from the false identities. It's all
Well,
ego.
it's pretty painful death.
In what way?
In the way that you got to suffer.
And how you feel about that, having to suffer through it?
I don't enjoy it. I deal with it. But it's taking, for me, it's taking a minute.
Yeah. And the reason it's taking so long because you have, over the years of life, you have truly identified with the wrong spirit, calling them yourself, calling them you. You have identified with thoughts. You have identified with feelings. You have either good or bad feelings. You have identified with thinking you're this or that and this and that. You have identified with anger. And so there are lots of layers of the shadow of death that you have to go through. But if you just relax and let it happen, and it will happen. It will continue to happen. And the reason it's taking so long or that it's so hard is because you just deeply identify with the wrong things, the wrong spirits. Because you didn't know you're possessed in the mind and emotion. You thought it was real you, and it's not. So just be patient, even if it takes a lifetime.
Understood.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And Merry Christmas. And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday about the biblical question, all right?
Merry Christmas, bud.
You too, man. Amazing. 888-775-3773. First time call out of Florida. Shawn.
Hi.
Hey, Shawn. Welcome to the show.
All right. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Are you on a speakerphone or something? Hold on for me. Let me let Nick talk to you. And I'll come back to you because it doesn't sound clear. Is it Chauncley? A first time call out. I'm sorry? Chauncley, a first time call out of St. Louis. Chauncley, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. First of all, I'd like to say that the best advice you give is to forgive your father and your mothers.
Yes.
I just want to give you props on that. Nothing will work for you unless you do that first and foremost.
That's for sure.
And if you can't, just ask them. I thought it would be impossible for me to forgive my father, but all I did was ask the Father, and He made it possible. So don't you do it. Just have the will to do it and pray to do it, and it will happen. You will, no matter what He's done to you, and like you said, there's no excuse. The Father will deal with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you on a speakerphone, Chauncley?
No, I wear hearing aids, Jesse.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I'm a veteran that had hearing problems.
Right on.
Please forgive me.
No problem, man.
I have a question. Just before you went off air, someone asked something about how to love the Father.
Right.
Or something, how to love God.
Right.
I was able to find inside the Bible where He actually tells you how you can love Him. And, these are some scriptures right out there that you can verify. John chapter 14:15, He tells you.
What did He say?
If ye love me, it says this, if ye love me, keep my commandments.
Right.
So
And he wanted to know how to do it, though. How do you love
Okay, how
God
to
with?
do it?
Yeah, how do you love God with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else or no one else?
I want to go to, I can possibly answer that by going to Matthew chapter 22.
All right.
Verse 36. And he was asked, Master, what is the great commandment in the law? And the Messiah said unto him, love God with all thy heart and soul and mind. This is the first. And the second is likened unto it. Love thy neighbor as I love thyself. And also he states that on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So the only way that you can determine if you love the Father and if the Father loves you is by keeping his law.
But how do you do it, though? How do you do it? And you're right, what you read, that is what it says. But the question was, how do you do it? That's what Jaime asked. How do you do it?
By keeping his commandments.
But how do you keep them? No one is able to do it of themselves.
No, that's Jesse. That is not true.
Well, so how do you keep the commandment?
How do you? The first ones are the 10 Commandments. Try those first, because he just told you. If you do not keep those, none of the rest of the law would even matter.
Right.
The 10 Commandments tell you how. Love your parents. Keep the Shabbat. Love your neighbor. Don't steal. Those things there. If you do not do those things,
but
you're out of line with them.
Right. And Jaime wants to do those things, but he doesn't know. He want to know, how do you do them? He read that, and he believed that, but he doesn't know how to do it.
I mean, they're right there. He says how to do it.
Right.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
But how do you love your neighbor, though? How do you love your neighbor? What are the steps to loving your neighbor?
By treating them like you treat yourself.
But everybody treat themselves awfully, so bad.
Well, if you're a nice person, you treat a person nice and polite, and be nice to them. Like, say, for instance, I'll use you, Jesse. The way you treat people, just mirror you. Say, how to treat people nice like Jesse. That's it. Jesse, you are the example.
Very interesting.
For the lack of a better word.
Well, it's an interesting question, too. I appreciate that.
And can I say one other thing, too, Jesse?
Real fast, yes.
And I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
1 John 2, verse 4 states this. Whoever says, I know him, but does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome,
and have a good day.
And Merry Christmas. Amazing. How do you do those things is the question. Because most people have heard it, at least, to love God with all your heart, your soul, and might, along with nothing else or anyone else, and to love your neighbor. But no one does it. How do you do it? And it can be done. How now, brown cow? How do you do it? Let me go back to Shawn, and we're going to get some super chats and all that stuff, all right? I'm told that Shawn is ready now. First time call out of Florida. Shawn.
Hi.
That's much better. Amazing.
Empathy is how you do it. Empathy is when you love your neighbor, love the other person like you want to be treated. You always will keep that at the forefront of your heart and mind. That how would I like to be treated in this situation? Or how would I like to be going through that, what they're going through? So it's not sympathy. I always say sympathy is feeling sorry for someone. That's not what empathy is. Putting yourself in their, in their place, in their position.
And do they treat you the way you treat them? The people you.
Should you let that stop you if they don't treat you the way you want to be treated?
No, I'm asking you, do you treat, when the people don't treat you the way that you treat them, how do you deal with that?
Doesn't that happen to Jesus all the time?
Right.
People don't treat him the way that he treats them. If everybody really emulated him, then, you're going to be turning your cheek to the other side a lot. But because he's telling you to love your enemy, so your enemy is always antagonizing you. And so even through that enemy's treatment of you, you're supposed to be loving them, praying for them, not being a doormat.
Do you love all people?
Yes.
You love Hitler?
I don't. I'm kind of. You don't love what he does, what people do, but God did say about 7 times. Somebody asked him about that, about 7 times, 77. How many times should I forgive a person?
Right.
He had the limit on when it's done.
He said 7 times, 7 times, 7 times. That's a lifetime. So do you love Hitler?
I have to answer that with, I don't know. The actions are so.
But I thought you had empathy.
Well, he's not. His actions are not like he's being mistreated. He was mistreating someone, so it's not a type of empathy that you're gonna put in your place. I'm gonna put myself in, make it okay for what he's doing. There is a balance because God hates and he loves. There's a balance.
Does God love Hitler?
Okay. He hates sin. And he did make a difference between Esau and Jacob, the 2 brothers. There was something going on with the 2 brothers that he said he loved. He hated Esau and he loved Jacob. So it must be something in that dichotomy of that balance there, some type of lesson to learn that can answer that question.
So does God love Hitler?
He probably loved him at one time.
And he don't love him no more.
When Hitler put something in place of God to the point where, okay, well, this is it. He had to let him go.
And so,
I think that.
Do you love Hitler?
No, I don't.
Then how can you love God when you don't love Hitler?
Well, are you saying to love Hitler?
How? And I will answer that. That's a good question. But how can you love God and don't love Hitler?
Well, I guess as a man, as a human being, a flesh and blood human being, you got to do what God say literally, and then He's the one who will cut it off, or because He can say stop doing this, or stop doing that. But I call for you to love everybody.
So God sent His only begotten Son because He loved the world, right? You think He left Hitler out of there?
Yes.
So do you think
everybody?
Right. So do you believe He loved Hitler?
Yeah, because Hitler was a baby at one time. He possessed innocence, but he had free will to appreciate it or depreciate it.
And so, do you love Hitler?
I'm still choked up. Well, wait. Look at this theory. Okay, we don't love the devil. At least you're not supposed to. But at one time, he was the angel of light, and he stood before God's throne. God did love him as well as the other angels. But as I said, the free will, because of God's love, the free will that God had put on everybody.
You believe you have a free will?
Yeah, I know you have a free will.
So
you're not a robot.
But you don't have a free will either.
You don't think so?
I know so, without a doubt.
Yeah, can you define free will, your definition of free will?
If you have a free will, stop yourself from ever having another negative thought.
Okay, I thought free will meant you could say yes or no to something, that you can receive or reject.
No, you make no choices. You have never made a decision in your whole life.
You haven't?
No.
That's
what?
Didn't Adam? God told the instruction to Adam. And he told Adam.
I'm sorry, your phone went crazy for a minute. What did you say about Adam?
Okay, well, what about when God gave Adam his instructions? He told him, don't eat of that tree of good, knowledge of good and evil. Yeah. And the day that you do it, you're gonna die.
Yeah, he told him not to listen to the woman.
Okay.
And the moment he listened to the woman, he died.
Yeah. So that wasn't he operating on, he made a decision outside of God and, his own ambition.
No.
God said don't do it.
And the reason he did it, he did not resist temptation. When the woman tempted him, he gave in to the devil. He gave in to temptation. He was influenced.
I believe it.
But you don't have a free will, and you have never made a decision in your whole life, except and even with practical decisions, you don't make those decisions either. But you have never made a decision, and you don't have a free will.
But how can you be held accountable for yourself?
Good question.
If you don't have a free will, if you're not making the decision,
you're not held accountable.
You're not?
No.
You're judged, though.
Not by God. You're judged by the devil that causes you to do the things you do. He tempts you, he influences you, and then he judges you.
Oh. But that's why he's called the accuser.
Yes.
Oh. To try to trip you up, you do it, then say, look at what she did. Look at what he did.
Right. And he makes you feel guilty. He makes you do it, and then he makes you feel guilty about doing it.
Right.
And then you want to jump off a bridge somewhere.
That's not God's nature. I saw something about God's nature the other day. It's kind of like similar to what you're saying, but you still seeing God more clear that his nature is.
He will truly change your nature from the nature of evil, which is of the devil, to his nature, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Are you married?
No.
Have you ever been married?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
close to it, but it never happened.
And how do you regret not being married?
Well, I've had a couple of times when I thought it was my last chance. My last chance. Well, you can fall head over heels for the wrong reasons when you think it's your last chance for whatever reason, being the character of somebody or whatever. But
How old are you, if I may ask?
Well, I'm the double digit 5. But,
you the double digit 5 time, you say?
No, 5. 5'5".
You're 55.
Yeah.
What an amazing age.
Yeah. Well, may I ask you something?
Yes.
In related to that dynamic, like marriage and stuff. I know that now men, I think, are another. I think the Bible says that you all go find a wife. You all can, find a wife.
Right.
You all can go after something that you like and, your preference and everything. Females, they, like in related to your journey in life, God does he have someone assigned to people, like, assigned to, can you miss, if you miss it, it's all, you only get so many chances and it's never going to happen again, or?
If you want, the best way and the right way to get married is to not look for a husband, or a man shouldn't look for a wife, and let life add it onto him. And if it's meant to be, it will happen, and you will not have to make a decision about it. It will happen naturally.
Right. That's the right way.
Yes.
You did say that. You said that do the right ways, but go about doing the right ways, and life will be added to you. So that's what he means by
absolutely.
A wife or her.
Yeah, if you just seek the kingdom and stay present with God, whatever is meant to be for you, no human being can stop it, not even you.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. And one more thing before you hang up. You were saying about when you were this is about the other category, reuniting the races with truth.
Yes.
Everything that you said, I came across something. I won't say what it was on, but there were three black gentlemen, and they were being interviewed by a host, a white gentleman, about debunking the myths of the Black American experience in America.
You said they were being interviewed by a hoe?
A hoe, but no, a white hoe. A white hoe.
A white hoe? Hold on, Shawn. Hold on, Shawn. Let me take a quick break. I'll come back and let you finish that, and more calls and super chats. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And James Hake is on fire. He's like Donald Trump. He has no fear. Amazing. From 9 to, hey, you white with good hair. From 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon, the American anchor baby. Flying high on natural energy given to him by God. Isn't that amazing? Smooth sailing at 12 noon Pacific time. And then we have a brand new episode of the Father's. Oh, no, let me tell you this first. The Women's Forum tonight. Women's Forum tonight at 7 p.m. It's the last one for this year on a Thursday night. Every third Thursday night of the month is for ladies only, and first Thursday night for men only, and Sunday morning, everybody and their mama. So ladies, come on out. It's going to be a hoot nanny of a time. We're going to have a time. We're going to have a time. Tonight at 7 p.m. And then we have a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. The FallenState.tv. I had an interesting discussion with, of whom I cannot find, so I can't think of the name. It's not in my schedule, but it's Friday. Tomorrow, we'll get that and get it to you, all right? Let me go quickly back to Shawn. She was talking about, I guess, a discussion she saw with 3 black men and a hoe.
No, not a hoe. A host. H-O-S-T.
Oh, a host, not a hoe.
Not a hoe. That would be interesting. So you said, gentlemen, a hoe. Okay.
What the?
Yeah. So it was 3 black gentlemen and a white gentleman. Host.
Yeah, I got you. I got you now. Host, not a hoe.
So he was asking the black men, they were older men, and he was asking them of their experience growing up and their educational experience and about the parentage and how. I mean, it was the exact things that you were trying to communicate about people, the illusion of segregation being an effector on the black race related to crime, related to being mistreated. They act in agreement, especially one of them, I think his name was Ian Rowe, I believe. But he was saying he doesn't remember hearing shots outside, gunshots outside. He doesn't remember elderly people not being able to walk up the sidewalk without getting robbed. This was in segregation time.
Yep.
And he said he just went down the list of things he don't. He said it was when desegregation, it was something related to desegregation. He gave a time span where the decline came forth. And then he said at that time, segregation time, there were 2, a mother and a father in the home, raising their children, teaching them, taking care of them. And it was when, and they said even after slavery time, it was the high rate of mothers and fathers in the home together. And they said that during the time span, the black race was the highest matrimonial, success. I mean, like parents in the household taking care of their children at that time. And they did a time span from, the slavery ending 1865 to the civil rights, 100 years. 1965 civil rights began, and then something about a decline in what you said. I
95%, even more probably, of the things you hear these so-called black leaders and black teachers and and the media and others, 95% of the things that they're telling the blacks about what happened back then are lies. They're not true at all. They're all lies, and they're made up in order to deceive the blacks and control them.
That was a part of that title, Debunking the Myths of the Black Experience in America.
Yeah, and that's me. I ask, what's wrong with the blacks?
What the? What the?
What the?
Heck is it?
It's amazing.
It's a psychological assault
100%
going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they need some, but you're coming at it spiritually, and I do thank you for what you do. You have a niche gift, and you're tearing down barriers because, everybody needs to hear the truth. It's not just blacks, but whites and Hispanic, and, they need to hear this truth. And you, a one-man army, keep on shooting, soldier.
I will. Thank you, Shawn. Merry Christmas. Okay. It's amazing talking to you. Call me again.
I will. Okay.
And don't forget.
Bye-bye.
Oh, let me ask. What is love? What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
No more.
Okay, love.
No more.
That's one question that everybody trying to get the hang of and do and learn. Well, even at the biblical description, love is kind, love is patient, love hopes all things, love believes all things. It doesn't fit in every type of love: agape love, romantic love, familial love.
Well, the one thing I do want to tell you, love, when you don't have anger, when you have no anger at all, you have love.
Because the spirit of anger is the enemy of love.
Yes. Amazing.
Yes, it is.
Shawn, it's amazing speaking with you. I must run. I've enjoyed talking to you.
Okay, and I'm sure your topics, it can't help but draw people back. So please, I hope you mean it when you say call back.
I do. I love talking to you.
I'm glad I discovered you.
Right on.
All right. Y'all have a beautiful day.
You too, and Merry Christmas.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Amazing lady. Is it Japrice? Oh, Japrice. A first-time call out of California. Japrice, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Mr. JLP. How are you?
All is well. How are you?
I'm good. I wonder if you can actually hear me.
No woman
I'm
is
at
good.
The gym.
I'm sorry?
I wonder if you can hear me because I'm at the gym. Well, I'm in the locker room at the gym. I came when I heard you call my name.
Right. You're in the locker room at the gym. Yes, I can hear you. Who is that fat? Okay, who is that fat lady over in the corner right there?
Surprisingly, there's no really fat women here. So. I just had a question, some advice on my marriage. So I've been married for 5 years. So recently I've been smelling marijuana in the car. Of me and my husband, we only have one car because we don't see the purpose of having two cars because that's more money. And I've been asking him, has he been smoking marijuana? He denies it and says no. But I believe he's lying because where else is it coming from? I just want to know, that's how I was brought up. It's a sin. So I'm trying to give him advice on how to talk to my husband about this situation.
You said you was brought up that smoking marijuana was a sin?
Yes.
How is that a sin?
That's how I was brought up because you're doing drugs.
Somebody lied to you. But here's how you
really?
do. Yeah, smoking marijuana is not a sin. Doing drugs is not a sin. The reason you're doing the drug or smoking the marijuana is because you're trying to fulfill a void. You're trying to fulfill an emptiness inside of you. And the drugs or the alcohol or sex or anything outwardly just makes you feel good for a moment. It doesn't solve the spiritual problem that you're having. And every human being has it because every human being must return to the Father. And so your husband is longing for his father and he resents his mother. And so he has a lot of conflict on the inside. So it's not the sin of smoking the marijuana. He's trying to find peace.
Yeah, I definitely believe what you're saying because he does have a situation with his mother and father.
Yeah.
Yeah, they split up when he was 15. So I'm quite sure that really traumatized him.
He needs to forgive them so he can have perfect peace, and then the old nature will fall away, and he wouldn't need anything outwardly to make him feel good.
Right. I try to tell him this. Of course, you know, he's a man, doesn't want to listen to me. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to talk to like a man that is in our family that can talk to him. But he's not like being honest with me. So maybe he'll be honest with another man.
No, here's what you need. I recommend you do: back off. Don't resent him. Don't impose on him. Be a living example.
But it's disgusting.
I'm sorry.
It's disgusting. I'm not attracted to that.
You don't have to smoke it.
No. Like when someone does drugs, like it's unattractive.
What do you mean unattractive?
Like it's unattractive to know that my husband is doing this, so I'm gonna be unattracted to him.
But you know why? You know why? You know why you're gonna be unattracted to him? I'm sweating like a slave. The reason you're unattracted to it because you're judging him. You're not just seeing it and having compassion for him. You're judging him, and you think you're better because you don't smoke marijuana. But you don't see that you're as bad as or worse because you're judging him. And you're like, I'm not attracted to a drug addict. I'm not attracted to someone who smokes marijuana. You're judging him, so you're as bad as the one that you're judging. Stop judging him.
Supposed to judge? Well, I'm not. I'm judging him righteously. Like
no, you're not. Ain't no such thing as judging him righteously.
How not so?
Because you're getting a thrill from judging him. Anytime you get a thrill, you're playing God, and Satan is your God. You should just see it for what it is. Yes, you see that he's smoking pot, right? It doesn't mean you agree with it, but at least you understand why he's doing it. And in understanding, you will not judge him.
Okay.
And then you have a better chance of helping him by not judging him, not having an opinion about why he's doing it and thinking you're better. And you know, you're judging him. Stop it.
Okay. I have another question, if I may.
Yes.
Do you believe that the sins of our father are like passed down to children? Like the seeds that you plant as a Christian, that you plant as a parent, they will bloom, you know, into your children, whether that's good or positive. So it's always best that you watch what you do, not necessarily around your children, but you know, just as a person, because it may not. You may not see the consequences for yourself, but sometimes they go upon your children.
Well, the sins that are passed on to the children by the mother and the father are the sins of the heart. If your parents are angry, you're going to be angry. And then if you're angry and don't overcome it, you pass it on to your children. And then they pass it on to their children until somebody finally say, I'm sick of being angry. I'm going to forgive. And then they'll start passing down love. They will start a new generation.
Right. So I asked that because we have two sons. We have a 3 and a 1.5-year-old. So like I just don't want that spirit to, you know, come upon our boys, our children.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, I have.
You told her?
I told her what she did to me. She accepted it. She apologized, and then I forgave her.
You told her you were sorry for resenting her?
I didn't tell her that I was sorry that I resented her, but I did tell her that I did resent her.
You did tell her what now? I'm sorry.
I said I didn't tell her that I'm sorry for resenting her, but I did tell her that I did mention that I had this resentment towards her.
Right. And you forgave her?
Yes, I forgave her.
And do you obey your husband?
Yes.
And so don't judge him. Just realize he might not be working on himself, and you will see how to talk to him with the right spirit, and he will hear from you. But with judgment, it's not going to work. You can't have a personal opinion about it at all. It's enough to see it, but it's wrong to have a personal opinion about it. Are you saying that he may pass the drug thing down to his children or the anger?
Both. I think that doing drugs, I think it's like a spirit. Like it comes upon you, and then all of a sudden you can't stop because you're all addicted to it, and then it's just like I believe so, because in my family there's a mother who does it, now that her daughter does it, now her daughter's. It's just like it's something that I think it's passed down.
But no, the drug is not passed down. It's the spirit of anger that's passed down, which tempt people to prevent people from looking at themselves, and it tells them that if you do this, you'll feel better. If you do that, you'll feel better. So it's not the spirit of the drug; it's the spirit of anger.
Okay.
And so, if as long as your children, his children, doesn't have anger, they'll be fine. Because if they don't have anger, they're going to have perfect love. And if you have perfect love, you're not attracted to the things of the world.
Okay. I guess it's just a little bit hard to not judge, because coming into the question, why should we care what people think? I think that it's important that we have like family esteem, and you have I just care about how I'm portrayed and what people think about my family. Because we have family esteem, I don't want people to think poorly of my family, because when I go out in the world, I represent my husband, I represent my family. So I don't think it's a bad thing to care, but maybe because I'm a woman, I don't know.
You think that people think good of your family?
I would hope so. At least that they can see from the outside. They don't know exactly what goes on in our home, so whatever we show them is what they would think, and I would hope that it's good.
Let's say you and your husband and your kids went out, y'all all dressed nice and good little Christians, and the kids are really polite, and they sit quietly in the church, and if you did everything right, you think people would think highly of you?
No, they'll probably say that we're too strict or too uppity or something like that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
they're like, she thinks she's better than everybody else. They think they're better Christians. People are not going to think highly of you at all.
Yeah. You're right.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I guess, and I'm speaking about it, people think that we're just so we think we're better because I stay home, I homeschool our children, and my husband works, and so they all, they already think. So I guess that is, but I try to tell them no, that we don't think that we're better. We are just doing something different, and we hope that you all follow along because it's for the best. But I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah, don't try to convince them either. You're married, you have children, you stay home, you raise your children. If other people don't like it, just give them the finger. Don't try to prove anything to them.
Okay.
And as far as your husband is provided for you, right?
Yes.
You stay home and he take care of the family, right?
Yes, he pays all 100% of the bills.
And so why don't you be quiet about the little pot?
Because I do not like that.
But drop your opinion about it at all. It's not you're not smoking it, so it's not for you to like.
Yeah, but we have we have 2 boys that they love their father. They look up to him.
Right. That's
So
why
I
you
don't
need to
want-
back
I think-
down.
But children are smart. They will eventually figure things out when they get a little bit older, right? Or no?
And when they do, they'll ask their father about it if they're concerned about it. They'll ask him about it.
And then I don't want them to be like, well, let me try. My dad does it.
What made you think they're going to do that?
Well, we all, whether we like it or not, we all have a little bit of our parents in us, and we try to emulate what they do, especially,
But have
if
they
my mom
seen
did
him
this,
doing it?
No, I haven't seen him do it either.
So back off then. And stop sniffing. I can see you now. Every time you get in the car, you go.
Oh my God. No, I think, yeah.
You sniffing for drugs. You go to smell drugs. Stop sniffing. You're not a hound dog.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I'm going to get back to working out now. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
taking my call.
Do
Merry
the silent
Christmas.
prayer.
God bless you. Oh yeah, I've heard you do that a lot, but I haven't heard.
Yeah, if
I don't
ever
know
you
exactly
needed
what it
the
is.
silent prayer, you need it now. Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, all right?
Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you. Merry Christmas.
And Merry
Have
Christmas.
a good weekend.
You too. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye. I got to take a break. Another hour to go. Back in a moment, straight to your calls and super chat. Merry Christmas. Hake coming in with the hate news, not the fake news. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. Freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday, December 21st, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 3. Lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Remember, ladies, the Women's Forum, third Thursday of the month. That's tonight, 7 p.m. at Bond. Join us in person if you can make it. If you can't join in person, you're simply out of luck. SOL, simply out of luck. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports some of the largest airlines in the United States have entered their peak travel windows as millions of passengers take to the skies for the holidays. American Airlines, the country's largest carrier, expects Friday, December 22nd to be their busiest of the holiday travel period that began Wednesday. In all, airlines plan to serve 12.7 million passengers. Delta Airlines expecting to serve around 9 million people in total, including 600,000 customers each day, December 21st and 2nd, as well as from December 26th to 30th. The FAA said holiday air traffic overall will peak today, with the agency's air traffic controllers handling 49,000 flights. This comes as both east and west coasts are facing poor weather conditions, supposedly, that could trigger travel delays and road closures ahead of the busy holiday weekend. It's light rain over here right now, I guess. Thieves thieving Rite Aid. They're thieves looting Rite Aid, and Rite Aid is getting kicked while they're down by the FTC, Federal Trade Commission. The far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, says Rite is in trouble. Earlier this week, the evil Federal Trade Commission said the drugstore chain misused facial recognition on customers for nearly a decade. They found that Rite was more likely to accuse Black, Latino, Asian, and women customers of shoplifting. Probably because those are the more likely shoplifters than white men, right? That's what I think. Because the tech generated thousands of false positives, though. False positives, the facial recognition software. They all look the same, right? FTC alleged employees would follow or accuse customers of stealing, humiliating them. Oh dear, their feelings. FTC protecting people's feelings. Give me a break. Now Rite is settling with the FTC and is banned from using facial recognition technology for the next 5 years. What a mess. Poor Rite. They used to be thrifties, right? I should have stuck with thrifties. Evil Google and evil AI liberals, a database that trains AI image generators, according to the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, says the database uses child sex abuse images. Lion, an AI database of 5.8 billion images, is used by AI image generators like Stable Diffusion, whatever that is, right? A growing issue is deep fakes of naked people. Fakes, they use a clothed person and then turn the person naked with the AI fake imagery. Lion, Laion, said that they have rigorous filters now, blah, blah, blah. OpenAI said that they didn't use Lion to train DALL-E or ChatGPT. Google did train their text-to-image model using Lion, but they didn't go public after an audit found a wide range of inappropriate content, including pornographic imagery, racist slurs, and harmful social stereotypes. Give me a break, weak. Growing calls for AI companies to put safeguards. They're just going to use it as an excuse to turn it more liberal. But anyway, space is real and morally straight. 12 astronauts so far that we know of have walked the surface of the moon. But no one's visited the moon since the final Apollo mission in 1972. Guys, you deniers. NASA, which does not mean lies, is going to prepare more members to join that elite group in late 2024, late next year, as part of the Artemis 2 mission. Put the first woman and first person of color on the lunar surface, turn it into a ghetto. Vice President cackling Kamala Harris is going to send an international astronaut. I'm James Hake.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. Excuse me. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already, if you can believe it. The third hour of the show already. Amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week, my biblical question, why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care about that? I'm trying to understand that. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can also listen to the show if you're busy doing whatever it is that you're doing and you can't sit and watch it, because we are heard around the world. Excuse me. Around the world by everybody and their mama. Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're busy doing what you're doing, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad. You can podcast later, but you can listen while you're doing what you're doing at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk or rebuildingaman.com or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Thursday. It's the last hour of the show today. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't feel your faith. Are you ready? Are you
Bible Thumper Thursday. Actors on a stage. That's all that is. It's just acting. It's just all for the thrill of it. Before I go back to the phones, I want to get some super chats in here. And then I want to show you, while Hake is coming in, I want to show you what Christianity looked like. What if person would live if they had returned to the Father. I want to show you a perfect example of Christianity. It's so deep. It's so profound, and yet so simple and beautiful and right. This is the Great White Hope. Donald Trump, CNN was interviewing him, someone on CNN. And on CNN, Donald Trump talked about his Christian faith, but said he never sought forgiveness for his sins. Watch this from CNN.
Well, let me ask you, because one of the potential attack lines has to do with an answer you gave to Frank Luntz months ago when you said that you've never asked God for forgiveness. Do you regret making that remark?
No, I have great relationship with God, but I like to be good. I don't like to have to ask for forgiveness, and I am good. I don't do a lot of things that are bad. I try and do nothing that's bad. I live a very different life than probably a lot of people would think, and I have a very great relationship with God, and about over the last number of years,
Okay.
I've been, I'm leading a very good life. I try to lead a good life, and I have.
Amazing. And if you doubt him, and I can hear a lot of doubters out there like waving in the water, doubters of what he just said, watch him without any judgment, meaning any ideas or feedback from the mind, from the intellect. The intellect, your mind, the intellect hate God. It is an enemy of God. And so it's going to hate any man or woman who returned to the Father. Your intellect will, because it's of your father, the devil. And it hates God. Why do you think you hate God? Because you're into your intellect. Isn't that amazing? That is so deep. I don't know if I ever heard anyone say it like that before. But if you're in your head about what he said, Because right away the intellect is say, "Oh no, that can't be." I remember when he beat the dog. That can't be. I remember when he Sally. You know what I mean? So you're not gonna be able to see where he's coming from at all because you're busy worshiping the devil in your mind. Amazing. Super chat. Super.
chats. Priscilla from Houston bought a coffee. My answer to the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why?
I do not care and care at the same time. My ego is in check, so I don't care. I do want to be an example of God in me, so I do care. This is why I try my best to be kind and treat others the way I want to be treated.
So why should we care?
Oh. She just answered whether she cares and how she cares.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
Shakitha bought 3 coffees. Thank you for all you do, but wanted to know, is there a wrong way to do the silent prayer? I often find myself reminding myself to stay present during my prayer. Question mark? Question mark?
Yeah, the wrong way to do it is not do it.
Nice.
That's all the wrong way to do it, not doing it. Sit quietly and just observe. Observe thoughts. You will be separated from them and you just look at them. And during the day, you're right. Watch those thoughts. Work on watching thoughts. Just watch them without an opinion about them. You are the watcher. You're sitting at the gate watching for the Father to come through. You don't want to miss him. So just watch the thoughts. Thank you.
Also on Buy Me a Coffee, Valerie is now a member saying amazing. She's a monthly supporter.
Amazing. Thank you.
Valerie also bought a coffee. Shawn, thank you for waking me up.
My producer?
I don't know. Maybe.
If you refer, Shawn is amazing.
Yeah.
He white.
S-E-A-N, Shawn.
Right. And he's out hunting deers right now.
You can just say deer. You don't need an S.
But he's looking for more than one.
Right, but deer is already plural.
It is?
Yep.
Without the S?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my dear.
I think so. It's either way is okay.
So let's say he should return with more than one.
Deer is the preferred plural of the form deer.
So let's say that he returned home with 5 dead deers.
Yep.
And so you see him and you say, oh, he has a deer?
He has a deer.
Even though
and he
I'm
has
looking
5
at
deer.
5?
And he killed 5 deer.
So I can say he has 5 deer?
Uh-huh.
That doesn't sound right.
But it is right. It sounds more
but
right
I'm
than
black
deer.
and slow, and now I learn how to say it with the S's, and you take the S off.
Right. You can learn.
White people
You're not
language,
a dog. You're not an old dog. You can learn new tricks.
White people language is too hard. I'm going back to Somalia.
Whoa. Do you say fishes or do you say fish?
Fish.
See?
But
Same
I grew
idea.
up saying that.
Right.
But thank you.
Yeah. Danny Moore bought of coffee. All right, Jesse and the lads. Just in the middle of the silent prayer, but had to stop to ask a question before I forget. Do any of you know what deja vu is? Where do you feel like you have already lived that moment? Very strange feeling. Cheers, lads. Jesse, can I get a beta, please?
Beta! 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 I had this water. Beta! Beta! Hassan said, here's my dear.
Here, my dear. That's a different spelling. Deer is D-E-E-R.
And he spelled D-E-A-R.
Right.
He went to Joel High School.
But D-E-A-R is what you call a person who is dear to you.
Oh, my dear.
Yeah, that's Marvin Gaye album.
What?
Here, my dear.
Oh. Nice. Thank you.
I know what deja vu is, yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep.
Yeah, I absolutely do. Like, you've been there before. Or you remember something, or it's like you're reliving something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. I understand with that. But I don't know what causes.
Yeah, it might be just a trick of the mind. Beta Legs just donated a diamond saying, happy birthday, Kilo Alpha Tango. Beers clinking emojis.
Amazing. Thank you.
Cheers.
Amazing.
Misty bought a diamond. Happy B-Day to Monica Kilo. Birthday cake with candles emoji. Cool. Sunglasses smiley emoji and beers clinking emoji. Or something.
Amazing. Thank you.
Kilo Alpha Tango donated a diamond. It's my birthday. I rest my case.
Nice. For specialized, for personal shout-outs, like Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, encouragement, birthdays, weddings, go to Cameo, CAMEO.com, and I'll do them for you. But so, amazing. Happy birthday.
Steven from Rotterdam, the Netherlands, bought 3 coffees, wishing y'all at Bond a Merry Christmas and amazing New Year. Heart emoji.
Thank you. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's our carol to you guys.
Thank you.
Jesse Kerr bought 5 coffees. Thank you all for all that you and the crew at Bond are doing. Love you guys and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. We love you back and Merry Christmas to you as well. Appreciate your support.
Prep Ham Paul on Rumble, monthly supporter subscriber.
You gotta know how to rumble.
History, i.e., the cycle of cause and effect of repetitious human actions. Maybe?
So he's referring to if history repeats itself?
Yeah, which we covered in the first hour.
Nick had an interesting response. He said that the Inca baby?
Yeah.
He said, what did you say, Inca baby? If history repeats itself? He was out there talking to Joel right now.
Yeah.
What?
Well, tech issues today, tech issues yesterday, tech issues forever. History repeats itself. Let it be written.
Let it be known. Let it be said. Let it be heard. Thank you.
WD-41 donated a ninja sled. Nice.
Nice.
My house doesn't have a chimley, so neither Santa nor Jesus can climb down it.
I hope you don't have children. They're going to be real disappointed. They get up and no Santa. What the? You're going to have to get up and let Santa in the house from the front door.
Reiki Port bought a coffee. Jesse, my son is 3 and he pushed every one of my buttons. How do I avoid smacking his butt? I've already forgiven my parents and the anger went, but my son does exactly what I tell him not to do and nothing else works.
Stay calm. And then the right spirit will come out and things will change. But you got to do it with perfect patience. And then you got to realize he's just a kid, too. And if he's a boy, he got to have extra energy. So he's being himself. Don't take it personal. Be patient. Thank you.
Scotty Ben 1000 bought a coffee. Jesse, what's your favorite childhood Christmas memory?
I had wished for a little red wagon for Christmas. And so one Christmas I got up and I noticed Santa had come down the chimney because all the ashes were gone. And right under the tree there, right near the fireplace, was a beautiful Christmas tree. And under that tree was a beautiful little red wagon. That was amazing. I will never forget that. Thank you.
Somebody sent you a red wagon
Someone
recently.
sent me here. Yeah, sent a red wagon. Thank you for the red wagon. It's in my office.
Elias Garcia bought a coffee. Hola, Feliz Navidad. And ¿cuál es la problema de los negros? Whoa, he said negros. The polite way is negritos. What's wrong with the blacks?
What's wrong with the blacks? Amazing. Thank you.
Mr. Pink bought 3 coffees. To answer the biblical question?
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
You should not care what other people think about you, because being a Christian, we are a peculiar people. You are supposed to care about what God thinks, and by doing so, you will build yourself up in righteousness. 1 Corinthians 5:11. But now I have written unto you not to keep company if any man that is a borrower be a fornicator, covetous, or idolater, or railer, or a drunkard, or extortioner. With such and one not to eat. Don't even eat with them.
Amazing.
Mr. Pink.
Thumper Thursday. Thank you.
One last thing, says Mr. Pink with another coffee. The whole speaking in tongues things has nothing to do with talking like a snake idiot and running around in circles. It was in Acts when the apostles went to teach. Then the Holy Spirit came to the apostles and made it possible for everyone to hear the message they were speaking in all the different languages of the nations, meaning it was translated truth, like Jesse said. Read Acts 2. P.S. Merry Christmas to the crew, the chat Jedis, and the one and only JLP.
And Merry Christmas to you. Thank you very much. Amazing.
Mike Young's coffee. Hey, Jesse, when I see people speaking in tongues by saying la 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 la, it makes it sound like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
It's crazy, Mike. It's wild. Thank you.
OG Red bought 3 coffees. Merry Christmas, JLP. I hope Santa brings all those blats some batteries for their smoke alarms. What a mess.
What a mess. Thank you.
Marcus bought a coffee. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to all you guys at the JLP show. Let's make 2024 amazing.
We will, and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
Scotty Ben 1000 bought a coffee. Jesse, why are all the black collars smoke detectors chipping? What the?
What happened with the smoke detector?
They chirp. Well, he said chipping, but I think he meant chirping.
Right. They are chirping.
That means the battery's low.
The battery's low, yeah. They probably stole them. Amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas.
Oh, there are a few more.
And Merry Christmas. I really, a lot of you, or several of you, are waking up and you realize, you know what? We need to support this organization. It's helped me so much. Jesse doesn't need to be on here asking all the time. Common sense said, if I've been helped, then I need to give back to help him help others. Thank you for that. It's amazing. Merry Christmas.
Siona with Sion Coffee. Oh, Jesse Pookie Boo, my 74-year-old husband on my mind. Doubt all the thoughts, Sion. Sandman looks like Hassan Yeezy has him on timeout, LOL, on punishment. Hake Cracker with another coffee. Is that peanut butter with sourdough bun next to you? Yum, in tummy. Could you eat like your aunt, please, Jesse?
This, You see Joel Donut right next to the coffee. And the dog is hungry for it. Oh, man, you still have rabies?
Has he drinking water?
Are you drinking any water lately?
In the last several weeks?
I haven't felt a little dehydrated.
Oh.
Wow, we're joking about this deadly disease.
Sandy's judging me.
Sandy's like, what the? Sandy's hungry and scared. Thank you, Sion. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Jennifer, heart emojis around the smiley face. Thanks for taking the time yesterday to help me understand my feelings and situation. Enjoy the coffee. Heart smiley emoji with 3 hearts around it.
Thank you. Amazing.
Nice. And thanks again. That's all for now again.
Nice. Thank you all. Right on. Let me go to Ron out of Texas. He's been waiting a while. Ron, welcome to the show. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Uncle Jesse. How's it going?
All is well. Merry Christmas, Ron.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you, Jesse. It's no big deal.
Are you on a speakerphone?
No, I'm on the... let me make sure. Hold on.
All right, hold on, buddy. Amazing. I'll come back to you, Ron. Don't hang up. Jane is a first-time caller out of... And Nick going to let me know when it's ready. Jane is a first-time caller out of Ron. He's on a speakerphone. Hey, Jane, out of Kansas.
Hi, Jesse.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All righty. Hi, how are you?
All is well. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Well, I'm sitting here shaking in my booth like, what do I say? Oh, my gosh. I guess to try and keep it very short, I grew up in Oklahoma seeing kind of normie Christianity, not very thoughtful. And then I went to Christian colleges, and, they over-intellectualize everything. And I went from kind of one extreme to the other.
Right.
That's always kind of been extremes for me, to be honest. But now I've gotten out of all of that, and I'm trying to just find God. And I know in my heart Christianity is true, and the Bible is how I've come to know God. And I believe the Bible as like a historical document showing our faith, and, you know, I follow Jesus or try to, but I've reached a point where I'm just so fed up with Christianity, and I've tried to fit in with it, and I just can't. And I just don't see it as being biblical. And then, you know, I'm faced with various, like, every other direction. It's, oh, the Bible ain't reliable. We don't know what it says. And, you know, I feel like I can't win. I know God. I'm close to God. But it's like I keep looking for something external to kind of keep me motivated, to keep me going. And I want to use the Bible that way. And I look at it. I'm just disgusted by it. My mind just shuts down. I don't even think it's untrue. I'm just resistant to it, you know?
And your question for me is what?
I guess, how do I do Christianity?
A good question. Let me ask, why do you think you know God from the Bible? You say you got to know God from the Bible. Why do you think you know him?
You know what? Now that you ask me that, I don't know God because of the Bible. I already knew God, and before, growing up around Christians, you kind of get a sense of what they say and what they believe. But you're right. I didn't get my idea of who God is, or like I didn't know in my heart, like, oh yes, this person exists. I didn't get that out of the Bible, so that's a good thing to point out.
No, that was a question. So do you believe that you know God now?
Yes.
And why do you
And I
believe
think I
you
get-
know him?
It's just something I know innately within, like on a soul level.
And you said that you follow Jesus?
I don't know what that means. I was just saying a Christian thing, to be honest.
I figured that. Amazing. And so do you want to know God?
I do.
So you have to look within.
For some reason, I don't trust myself. And I think it's because I've lived a life in my head, in fantasy, letting the devil tell me everything, and I always believed it. And it's hard for me to trust myself.
And beautiful. You should not trust yourself because there is no self to trust.
Yeah, like the only thing to trust is God, right?
No, you can't even trust God. You want to know him, not trust him, because trusting him is just a word. It has no meaning. It just feels good and sounds good, but you want to know him. You don't want to trust him.
That is mind-blowing because I have been so emotionally attached to trust. And yeah, now it makes sense why that's a stumbling block for me.
Yes.
It's real.
And you have been emotionally attached to a word called trust, which has no meaning, and it has done nothing for you but kept you away from knowing God.
Yeah. I'm glad I sat here and shaked in my boots and called in anyways, because that was really eye-opening for me.
You want what you want to, God said that in order to live, we must be born again. We must die in order to live.
Mm-hmm.
All your ideas and all your thoughts about him, all your thoughts about Jesus, and all your thoughts about yourself, your ideas about the world, and you, especially you, must die. You have to die from ideas. And you have to die from the ego. And once you die from that, you will be born again of the Father, and life will be amazing. But you're in your head, and you're living off of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You see the note from James? So have Have you forgiven your mother?
I have, yes.
You told her?
Well, my mom passed away when I was little, but I have forgiven her. I've forgiven my dad. I've actually reconnected with him.
Nice.
I'd like to think I've forgiven my grandparents that raised me, but I kind of still struggle with, like, ideas of them, and
so,
I'm trying to let that go.
Why have you gone to them and forgiven them?
They're both deceased now. So really all I have left are these, like, images in my mind, and it went from an extreme when I was young of, like, oh, they're better than me, I owe them something, to back a couple of years ago to then having someone turn me to think, oh, they're my oppressors, they hate me, they've victimized me. And I'm still living in that victim mentality for some reason.
Right. The way to forgive them, you see how you just mentioned you're living in a victim mentality. You have all these ideas about God, and you have these ideas about yourself, and you have the ideas about Jesus, and you don't have perfect peace. It's like you're living in your imagination and nothing in there but darkness, but hell, right? Where your parents and your grandparents had the same problem, and they couldn't help.
Yes, they did.
Right, and they couldn't help do but what they did. They did the best they could. It wasn't the right thing, but it was the best they could, because they too were living in their imagination. So if you could realize that about yourself, it will cause you to realize that about them. And though they are dead, it will cause you to forgive them, because you can't talk to them, they're dead. But the more you get to know yourself, the more you will overcome the world. You will forgive.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I don't want to say I am or I'm not. I have a hard time with routine, but I'm trying to be intentional about sitting and being still.
Can you hold for a minute?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, hold on for me. 888-7753-773. Quick break. Back in a moment. Oh, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. The Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. The Hake Report.com. And today, Hake has a guest. Ooh. He has Aircraft Sparky. Aircraft Sparky at 9 a.m. Pacific time from 9 to 11. You don't want to miss that. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. At 12 noon today, you don't want to miss the American Anchor Baby. Natural energy flying high. Energy given to him by God. And I have a brand new episode of The Father's Day, but I really just don't see it here in the package. So I'll tell you about it tomorrow when I get the information so I can remember for the Father's State, all right? Okay, thank you. I have with me, not with me, but tomorrow on the Father's State, a black supremacist, the author of Black Supremacy, Dr. William James. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
How many degrees do you have?
5.
Wow, educated up to yang.
Education is the true answer to liberation. Do you love Joe Biden?
Yes.
Do you love Adolf Hitler?
Yes.
Really?
Do you love white people? You have a book called Black Supremacy.
Most blacks do what?
Destroy.
Prove that.
Who killed other blacks the most?
Blacks.
Who turned nice neighborhoods into hoods? I'm giving you a hint.
I want money for what my ancestors went through.
And what did you do to earn that money?
I was born.
Amazing. And he has like a lot of degrees he has. And it's tomorrow at 12 noon, all right? We are having fellowship this Sunday. You're all invited to fellowship this Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern time, rebuildingtheman.com/church. And for personal shout-outs, birthday, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, encouragement, birthday shout-out, whatever it may be, encouragement, go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Let me go quickly back to Jane. First time call out of Kansas. She's having a hard time with Christianity. Jane, are you doing the silent prayer?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just say no.
And why not? Why is it that you're not doing it?
The idea of structure kind of puts me off. So to do it religiously, morning and evening, like I just don't know how to. It's the excuse of, well, I get busy with other things, but then if I do sit down and do it, I get pretty overwhelmed with like the thoughts, and I'm like, oh, what do I do? How do I make this stop? How do I be calm? So it's easier to kind of avoid it or, not do it.
But if you avoid it and not do it, you're going to always live in the darkness of your imagination, and you're going to always live hell on earth.
Yeah, I know. And I think part of my problem is I have this idea that I need to feel good. I need to feel God. Otherwise, I'm not doing it right. And
well, feeling good is not feeling God. Feeling good is feeling evil.
Well, yeah. Build you up to let you down, as you say.
So I highly get rid of this idea of structure and all that. It's just keeping you from living your life. And I want to encourage you, if you're really, really, really ready to be free, sit down and just watch those thoughts. And that's what it means to the kingdom of heaven is within, and you want to live from within. And the only way you're going to do that, you got to overcome this false illusion of who you think you are and what you are and all that crap so you can be free.
That makes sense.
So do it and watch, if you want, watch those thoughts and know that they're not yours. Don't fight with them or anything. You just observe them.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I got to not identify in it, no matter how strong it feels.
Right.
No, it ain't me.
Right. It's not you. You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your none of the stuff. Are you married?
I am not,
And
which has been a blessing.
it has been a blessing.
It wasn't always. I feel some kind of way about it and sometimes can, but I can see how God has blessed me with singleness.
So you never been married and no children?
Nope.
And you never wanted to be married?
Oh, I do.
You do want to be married?
Well, I had a moment of peace where I was like, you know what? I really don't need it. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, great. And now I'm kind of in my feelings again, but I know it's not me because I've tasted and seen like, oh, no, actually, that ain't me.
And so you don't want to be married?
I want whatever God wants, I guess.
And
I don't know what I want. Do I want anything? I don't know.
Do you want to be married, have children?
I think it would be nice. I think there's something about it that would be fulfilling.
Do you want it?
Yes, I want to be married and have kids.
And why haven't you already? How old are you, if I may ask? Ask.
I'm 29.
Oh, you're still young. And so
yes, it's a wrestle to accept that I'm still young when the world has a million ideas of how you should be at whatever stage of life.
Well, here's what I recommend, Jane, but do what you want. Work on yourself. You got to work on overcoming the false self. You're not your thoughts and things like that. And let God will be done. You'll be fine. You will overcome the world, and the world will be crazy, but you won't be a part of it. You'll be in it, but not of it.
Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
All right. Well, give the silent prayer a good prayer. Let me know how it goes.
All righty. I will do it.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
You have a good one.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas.
All right.
Mhm.
Bye. Now. Bye. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Ron. Let me give Ron a try. See if, Ron, let's try it again out of Texas. Go ahead.
Hey, Uncle Jesse.
What's up, Ron?
All right. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, okay. All right. Hey, I'm going to make a statement. Then I want to answer the biblical question, if I can.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
Okay, I'm gonna make my statement first, then I answer that question if I can.
Yes.
About a year ago, this time last year, you had a regular caller call in, and he stated that Jesus was born December 25th. And everybody pretty much laughed him off the phone. And he was a regular caller, and he never called back in. The question I have for you, what does Jesus have to do with Christmas?
He is the reason for the season.
That is not answering the question.
Well, you asked me.
No.
You didn't really want me to answer?
What does Jesus have to do with Christmas? You just can't say he's the reason. Why is he the reason?
Because he's Jesus.
Okay. All right, well, that's cool, Jesse. Let me answer the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
Thinking about what people care and think about us kind of keeps our morality in check. A good example of that is, your mother. You tell the story of your mother after giving birth to you. She married someone else because it was a shame for a woman to have kids and not be married. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So to keep your morality in check, that's why you care about what other people think about you.
And so do you care what other people say and think about you?
Yes.
Amazing. I appreciate your response to that, Ron. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you for that. Let me go to, well, this time we're going by fast. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Anthony out of Missouri. Anthony been waiting a while now. Anthony, welcome to the show. Thanks for holding you on the air.
What's up, Jesse?
All
How
is
you doing?
well. All is well.
Hey, so I called last Friday about flat Earth. What's up, flat Earthers? And
You believe
talked
that the
about
earth is
firmament.
flat?
Yes. I talked about the firmament, how we live inside the firmament.
And what's the firmament?
It is the glass dome that God created since the beginning of time.
And did God call it a glass dome?
He called it well, according to the Bible, that he made it out of his handiwork, and the way how it is described in the Bible is that it's like a looking glass and looking through the compass, through the glass. It looks like a, how do you say? So, I mean, technically, yes. It's going to be like a hard glass.
Did God call it a glass dome?
Well, in the Hebrew, the way how it's mentioned, it's called the rakia, and it is called the dome of firmament. In technicalities, when the way how the Bible references it, it would be a glass dome. So, to be technical, yes.
Did God call it a glass dome?
I would say yes.
When did he call it a glass dome? Did it look like this?
Like the way how Hake's little dome?
Yeah, Hake's little dome. So
yeah.
Did God call it a glass dome?
Not specifically, but no.
So
I'll say no.
why are you calling it a glass dome then?
Because the way how the Bible references it is the way how it is created as a glass dome.
So in the Bible, it's called a glass dome?
It's considered.
In the Bible, is it called a glass dome?
Yes.
Where in the Bible does it call it a glass dome?
Let me check. When the Apostle Paul, on Revelations 15:2, the Apostle says that he's seen a sea of glass.
You realize you're making up something, Anthony?
Oh, no, not at all.
You were on track when you admitted that God does not call it a glass dome. I'm just trying to figure out where you get that idea that firmament meant a glass dome.
Well, it's not saying that he doesn't call it a glass. It's the way how he created it. It's like, gosh, I can't even think specifically, but well, let me stick with the scripture, because according to the Bible, the way how Jesus explained things, he explained things in parables so that we could understand it.
But there's no parable that's going to tell you that firmament meant a glass dome.
The way how the firmament is the way how God explains his creation.
But he wasn't talking about a glass dome.
So what do you think the firmament is?
I can tell you what it's not. It's not a glass dome.
What is it?
I don't know yet, but it's not a glass dome, that's for sure.
Well, for other people who don't think that the Bible is true, or even for the Christians who try to follow the Bible but yet believe in NASA and all the lies, 2 Timothy 3.
Would you rather believe it was a glass dome or it was the atmosphere?
Glass dome.
You rather
Because the
believe it's a
Bible
glass
doesn't- the
dome.
Bible doesn't
You think
mention
God
anything
made?
about an atmosphere.
You think God made the earth and put a glass dome over it?
Yes, because in the book of Genesis 1, God created a firmament, separated the waters from the waters, then lifted dry land from the waters, and on the fourth day, God created the sun and the moon. This is all written in Genesis 1.
But where did he create
1 through
some
16.
glass and made it into a dome?
He put a rain between the waters from the waters above and the waters below.
But where did he create some glass and made it into a dome?
Where? It's above us.
Where and when?
In the heavens.
Man. You know what, Anthony? I really appreciate you, man. I got to run because I'm tired. Call me again, though. Interesting. God didn't create no dome, glass dome, folks. Come on now. If you believe that, you believe I have an afro. When it really is a marifro. Jerry is the first time call out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. Jerry, welcome to the show. You're on the air. That's amazing. He believed that God made some glass and put it over the earth. Jerry.
Hello?
Hey, Jerry.
How you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Hey, man, I'm a big fan of yours, man.
Thank you.
I'm just here to answer the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care?
I don't believe we're supposed to care. I believe if you do care what people think about you, I believe that's the spirit of the devil. I believe that a lot of people walk on earth and live on earth caring about what other people think about them. That's why people go out and get certain cars and dress a certain way, because of their ego, and it's because they care what somebody thinks about them. So they put on this ego about themselves. So that's why I feel like you shouldn't care.
Do you care about what people say or think about you?
I used to growing up as a kid,
right?
And listening to you and spiritually waking up. I'm free of life, knowing that I don't care what anybody thinks about me, because I know if I do good things in life, somebody's going to say something about me if I do something bad. It doesn't matter if you do anything good or bad. Somebody's always going to have something to say about you. So why care?
That's amazing.
So I appreciate you for everything you do. I grew up confused a little bit because I was in a church ran by a woman pastor.
What?
So for some reason, Jesse, I always felt something was spiritually wrong with that, even as a kid.
Yeah.
And I have, I'm the middle child. I have 2 older sisters, a younger brother and a younger sister. So I'm the middle child. So I've always not really felt left out, but just kind of to myself, you know?
Right.
So I have a earthly connection with my family, but not really spiritually, because you know, they go to a church that's ran by a woman, but it clearly tells you in the Bible that that's not the order of God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a woman was not created to lead. She was created to follow, not to lead.
Yeah, and it spiritually, it's something spiritual that where that makes sense. And listening to you and getting wisdom and understanding, I just have to, you know, thank the Lord. I was blessed with a son. He's 5 months, so that's my first baby.
Real men make boys first.
Yes, sir.
Did you know the secret to making a boy? You knew it?
No, sir. I did not know the secret to it. I just, like I said, I know the order of God, and my girlfriend knows the order of God, so I don't know. Just happened to have a boy.
Right on.
I'm sorry, what?
You are risen.
Thank you, sir. I want to speak on the free will, and I definitely understand what you're saying about we don't have free will.
Yes.
And I believe that if anybody says they have free will, that they also have the devil in them, because you're playing God. And it took me a while to understand that, because I don't have free will because I don't know what's going to happen in the next 10, 15 minutes.
Absolutely, man.
And that's not in my control.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going on with me, Jesse. It's like I'm like just high on life when you understand that I'm not in control of anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen in the next 10, 20, 30 minutes. It's in God's control.
Absolutely.
So,
what the?
We don't have free will. I believe that in this illusion of life, because I had to understand that, man, I really once was, 19 years old playing with toys, and now I'm a full adult. And that hit me to understand that all this is just an illusion, and time is, I'm not going to say I don't believe in time, but it's like a vapor. It's like a snap of a finger. 1 minute you're young, and 1 minute you're old, and I sit back and think, like, what is the purpose of all this? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't want to talk your head off, but I just feel like we don't have free will, but you have free choice. You can only serve two. It's either God or the devil. You don't have free will. You have a choice. You have a duty in this life, and it's either you're going to serve God or you're going to serve your daddy, Satan.
Oh, man. That's right.
So,
Derrick,
that just
call me again, but I'm about to run out of time here. Call me again.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, but amazing call. Super chat.
Super chats.
Aries' son bought 5 coffees. Ain't no L in chimney.
Chimney, not chimley. Thank you.
And he put spaces between each letter in the word chimney. A super chat from...
But everything has a Lee in Alabama.
Everything. Justin Lee, Susan Lee, Bertha Lee, Leroy Lee. Nice.
Over on Buy Me a Coffee, Riley JM bought 3. What does it mean to be a moral person?
To not be one.
Nice.
You cannot find one. You can look up and down the earth, and you're not going to find a moral person. Isn't that amazing? Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors, WD41, Kilo Alpha Tango, Misty, Beta Legs, Games for Rec, and the rest of the supporters on D Live. Shout out to you guys.
Thank you all very much. Very much. So you have a guest coming up now.
Aircraft Sparky is going to join me again. He was last with me October 6th, the day before the October 7th attack. And he's a Messianic Jew.
A Messianic Jew?
A Jew for Jesus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He didn't use the N-word, right?
No.
Oh,
No, that's the other
him.
one. That's Krishan the Dawn.
Oh, yeah. Hate love these folks. They use the N-word.
Yeah. I do.
Get on the straight and narrow, folks, and stay there if you want. But it's amazing. And ladies, I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. for the last meeting of this year on a Thursday night for the ladies. At 7 p.m. for ladies only. Get on that straight and narrow, do the silent prayer, and let go. You heard Jerry there. Let go and let life happen. It will happen on its own. It doesn't need your help. Forgive your mama, forgive your daddy, and God will forgive you, and the rest is amazing. The Hake Report is coming up now, and at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. At 12 noon, you don't want to miss it. Check out the American Anchor Baby. It's been deep lately. Like, real deep. And yet simple. At 12 noon. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. Tomorrow is Open Line Friday. Ken, I really wanted to get to Ken call, but I couldn't. I'm out of time. Evans, a first-time call out of California, and the caller that just dropped, I am totally out of time. But if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, Open Line Friday tomorrow. Have a good day, folks, and stay on that straight and narrow path. Stay present, not in time. No past and no future. Stay present. Take care. Oh, amazing.
Lightning in you, igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never want to stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the lose. You better go talk to your mama, better stop at the drama, better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if you don't, then we lose, and then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
You must know that so you get something with
that so you can. Something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom comes.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Like my cousin, sent me you, and I thank him for that. It was more of a, he thinks the whole everything's a joke. That just adds a little spice to it. But in the heart of what you're saying, there is real things going on. And people want to overlook that. And I'm telling you, Mr. Peterson, I'm not one of those people. And I thank God that He showed you to me. And sometimes we just need some Jesse in our lives, I guess.
I wish we had more brothers like you. We need more brothers like you. Because we don't have most guys that can, lead black people into the right direction. And I thank you for that, because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. Yeah. And I try to tell them, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us, and all is well.